In this video, we are going to learn about conjugate and rationalize denominator. First, we need to know what is conjugate. Conjugate is where we change the sign in the middle of two terms. For example, the conjugate of set A plus set B is set A minus set B. As we can see here, we just changed the plus sign to the minus sign. Similarly, the conjugate of A minus set B is just A plus set B. Remember, we just changed the sign in the middle from minus to plus, but the numbers or the terms remain the same, A and set B. The conjugate can be very useful because when we multiply some number by its conjugate, for example, set A plus set B times set A minus set B, we will get set A square minus set B square, which is equals to A minus B, and this is a real number. How can this possible? Let's recall from our previous knowledge, which is expanding the bracket. If we have A plus B times A minus B, by expanding the bracket, we will get A square minus AB plus BA minus B square, and it is equals to A square minus B square because we can simply cancel AB and BA. Similarly, if we have set A plus set B times set A minus set B, we will get set A square minus set A set B plus set B set A minus set B square, which is equals to set A square minus set B square. Again, we can just cancel this because this is just the same, so we will get A minus B. We cancel the set and the square together. So again, set A plus set B times set A minus set B is equals to A minus B. Now, let's look at the example below. The first one we have is in the form of B over set A. As we can see here, we have 12 over set 2. We only have one term or set in the denominator. So, what we need to do to rationalize the denominator is to multiply both numerator and denominator with set 2 over set 2. Notice here we don't change the value of the fraction because set 2 over set 2 is equals to 1. The next one, we will look at the example we have in the form of set A plus minus set B. So we have here set 2 minus set 3 over set 2 plus set 3. The denominator we have here is in two terms and it is an irrational denominator. So we can see here the denominator is set 2 plus set 3. So the conjugate of set 2 plus set 3 is set 2 minus set 3. So we need to multiply the fraction set 2 minus set 3 over set 2 plus set 3 by set 2 minus set 3 over set 2 minus set 3. Similarly, if we have set 2 minus set 3 over set 2 minus set 3 in the question below, as you can see here again, the denominator is an irrational denominator with two terms. So we need to multiply with the conjugate. So the conjugate of set 2 minus set 3 is just set 2 plus set 3. So we need to multiply both numerator and denominator by set 2 plus set 3 over set 2 plus set 3. The next example is in the form of A plus minus set B. So as we can see here, we have 1 plus set 3 over 1 plus set 3. Again, the denominator is in two terms, and the conjugate of 1 plus set 3 is 1 minus set 3. So we need to multiply 1 plus set 3 over 1 plus set 3 with 1 minus set 3 over 1 minus set 3. And again, we won't change the value of the fraction because this one, the value is equals to 1. Next, we will look at example 10 and example 11 together. Now, let's look at example 10. Rationalize 2 over set 7. As we can see from the question, 2 over set 7 is an irrational fraction because we have surd in the denominator. So, to eliminate the surd, we can just multiply the fraction with the number in the denominator, which is set 7 over set 7. Notice here, we won't change the value of the fraction. So now, we can just multiply the numerator together and the denominator together. So it will be 2 times set 7, which is 2 set 7, over set 7 times set 7, which is set 7 square. And notice here, this is not the simplest form of the fraction because we have set 7 square in the denominator. And to simplify this fraction, we can just cancel out the surd and the square so that it will be 2 set 7 over 7. And that's the final answer. Next, let's look at example 11. Rationalize set 5 over set 5 minus set 3. From this question, we can see that set 5 over set 5 minus set 3 is an irrational fraction because we have surd in the denominator. So, to rationalize the fraction or rationalize the denominator, we need to multiply the fraction by its conjugate, which is set 5 plus set 3 over set 5 plus set 3. So next, what we need to do is to multiply the numerator together and the denominator together. So it will be set 5 times set 5 plus set 3 is this one over set 5 minus set 3 times set 5 plus set 3. For the numerator, we can just expand the bracket. So it will be set 5 square plus set 5 set 3. And for the denominator, we need to recall that we have learned just now. If we have set A plus set B times set A minus set B, it will be just A minus B. Similarly, for our question, we have set 5 minus set 3 times set 5 plus set 3, and we are multiplying by its conjugate, so it will be set 5 square minus set 3 square. So just cancel the set and the square, so it will be just 5 minus 3, which is 2. So our denominator will be a rational number, which is 2. We have eliminated the surd in the denominator. And now, for the numerator, set 5 square is just 5. So 5 plus, now we have set 5 set 3. So set 5 set 3 is equals to surd 5 times 3 equals to set 15. So set 5 set 3 is just set 15. So we will have 5 plus set 15 as our numerator, and the denominator is just 2. So this is the final answer. We have rationalized the denominator. So for the conclusion, to rationalize the denominator, first, we cannot have surd in the denominator. So, to rationalize denominator, we have two methods. First is to multiply the fraction with the number in the denominator, or multiply by itself. So this only happen if we have only one term in the denominator. And the second method to rationalize denominator is by multiplying the fraction by its conjugate. This happens if we have two terms in the denominator. So that's all for this video. Thank you.